Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day. I'm Norish Fauzi. Will be presenting our recent study entitled Species Compositions and Density of Liana along the watershed area in Pergau Jeli, Kelantan. This presentation consists of 6 parts. The first part will be relating to introduction, followed by methodology, result discussions, conclusions, references, and acknowledgement. So let me begin my presentation by giving a brief introduction of lianas. According to Burham 2002, liana contribute roughly 20% of the woody plant species in survey of lowland neotropical forests. With such high relative species importance, increasing interest has been focused on the role of lianas in tropical forest dynamics. Some of the liana species that remained or regenerate after cutting have not yet been classified as either invaders or primary forest species. Therefore, it is important not only to monitor changes in stem density, but also in species composition. This study reports the result of preliminary inventory of liana species compositions and density in 0.15 hectare plot along the watershed area of Sungai Long to intake in Pergau Jeli, northern part of Kelantan. For the methodology, our preliminary inventory was executed in 0.15 hectare along the watershed area of Sungai Long Intake 2 in Pergau Jeli. Generally, this watershed area is part of reservoir for Pergam Dam, operated by the Naga National Berhad after it was officially opened in 2003. The area represents the lowland vegetation with approximately 450 meters above sea level. Within the vicinity, the canopy was moderately wide and the emergence were approximately not exceeding 45 meters. For sampling methods, the inventory of liana was carried out in 2019 following the protocol by Gary et al. 2006, where all liana stems or ramets exceeding than 1 cm in dBH were inventoried and the dBH was measured with a caliper at 1.3 meter above the ground. The tree mainly supporting a liana was also recorded as its host trees. The diameter of all host trees, which is dBH exceeding 10 cm, were also measured at 1.3 meter above the ground. For data analysis, all the collected data were tabulated accordingly and the alpha diversity of lianas were estimated using the equation of Shannon index, Simpson diversity index, and Fisher alpha diversity index. In our preliminary inventory, a total of 67 liana individuals with dBH exceeding or similar to 1 cm belonging to 6 genera and 5 families were recorded in 0.15 hectare plot. Liana species richness in the study area was recorded low with 6 species. The Shannon and Fisher's alpha indices of the inventory site were low with 1.47 and 1.59 respectively, but Simpson value was intermediate high, which was 0.80. Specifically, since the index value of 1 means high in diversities. Based on the Simpson index, it was likely to be 80% chance of tendency obtaining two species that are different within the vicinity. Meanwhile, for species population density, the population density of the 6 liana species in 0.15 hectare was tabulated in Table 2. In total, 67 individuals of lianas were counted in 0.15 hectare, equivalent to a liana density of 446 per hectare. Gynotoctus umbellata was found to be the most abundant species, comprising 26.8% of the proportional abundance with density of 120 per hectare. Epipremnum giganteum was recorded as the second most abundant species with 22.4% of abundance and population density of 100 per hectare. The Agelea species, comprising of 19.4% of abundance, equivalent to a linear density of 86.7 per hectare. The least abundance for Uncaria species with 8.9% of the proportional abundance and density of 40 per hectare. Both Spatolobolus auritus, and Marcidinia mangei were among the three least proportional abundance of 11.9% and 10.5%, whereas the population density of 53.3 per hectare and 46.7 per hectare respectively. In this preliminary inventory, it is notable that Rubiaceae, Araceae, and Conaraceae constituted the predominantly liana families by density within the vicinity. According to Homeyer et al. 2010, the forest structure attributes such as tree diameter and tree basal area are more influential for liana abundance, basal area, and diameter distribution patterns than soil parameters. Certain other recent studies reached similar conclusions, where Van der Heyden and Phillips 2008 postulated that success for liana might depend more on the availability of suitable host trees than on soil conditions, although the consensus of liana proliferations led to poor carbon sequestration in the forest, a high liana abundance in the watershed area, particularly along the Sungai Long 2, has a potential impact in preventing the soil erosion. According to Signature and Bongers 2002, fast growth and build-up leaf cover by lianas may prevent rain-related erosion of bare soil exposed by disturbance. They also postulated that temporal storage in liana foliage and later redistribution via litterfall may prevent nutrients from being leached from tropical soil. Sneger and Bonger also postulated that the high concentration of potassium in liana leaf may be of a vital importance for ecosystem productivity. Apart from that, liana also plays a vital role in providing essential food resources to frugivore animals. Nevertheless, the numbers of liana should be in equilibrium within the ecosystem to ensure the mortality rate of infected trees is not posing hazardous threat to the surrounding productivities. As for the conclusion, it could be suggested that ecosystems along the Sungai Long 2 in Perga have been disturbed. This was based on the high abundance of liana. Nevertheless, the high diversity of lianas within the vicinity play a vital ecological services in sustaining ecosystem productivity through nutrient cycling and also food provision for frugivore fauna. To ensure the stability of the ecosystem, regular silviculture treatment should also be executed in the highly liana-infected area. The uniqueness of certain liana stems dangling in the area could also be part of tourist attractions in Pergao journey. Before I end, we would like to express our utmost appreciations to TNB for granting the permission to execute our study and also to University Malaysia Kelantan for supporting this study.